Thank you. All right, well, welcome to Liberty Me's The Charm Offensive. I'm your host, Tiffany Madison. You can find this interview and more at my publishing site, tiffanymadison.liberty.me. Today we are talking to Luis, a friend of mine that's been a very advocate or a hardcore Ron Paul advocate and anarchist supporter on Facebook for a long time, and I found out he's also an independent journalist and a consultant that teaches voluntarist virtues in the corporate space. He's also the host of Anarchist Espanol and the Emancipated Human on the Voluntary Virtues Network. Welcome, Luis.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be fun. So before we discuss your fundraising project, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What are your dreams? What makes you awesome?
Well, I don't know that I am awesome, but I try. I strive for a lot. Like you said, we do teach voluntarism in the corporate arena. So some of our clients actually are on the Forbes 100 best companies to work for, and it's just that idea of lifting of the veil that makes people think that they can own people, and so we teach them skills and tools that allows them to basically emancipate themselves, to be able to do awesome work and explore their genius, just to be able to do really good results, and everybody wins through that. Also, like you said, I do a little bit on the side. I'm actually pretty active here in Dallas area. I'm also a delegate with the Libertarian Party here in Tarrant County, so I'm in a lot of places, and that's kind of like the journalism part was like the next organic thing to do. I was like, well, I'm being thrown into all these places, and I'm getting to see and meet a bunch of good people, so I thought that it would be a good idea to be able to throw just a little bit of interviews and audio and video into more people to make it to help pass this into more mainstream, if you will. So I guess that's part of who I am.
Awesome. Yeah, as a fellow Dallas native, I like that. Next time I'm in town, we're gonna have to get some drinks and talk about all the Liberty flats.
Yeah, we should do that whenever you guys come back sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. Well, thank you for that really good explanation. So what inspired you to crowdsource? What are your goals once the project is funded?
See, what I was thinking is because of my work, I get my laptop and I get a camera, and whenever like in October, I'm going to the Conscious Capitalism conference. So I guess I was thinking, well, I could continue to do all this work on my own without having to borrow, my own stuff from work, and just do it on my own time and just expand on that. So that's when I created the GoFundMe campaign. I've gotten enough money to this point that I already got a camera and a mic, but I'm also trying to get some programs to do the video editing and background for like white background and a couple of other items that I will need for that. And I mean, if people are willing to help out, that would be pretty awesome. Like I said, I'm being thrown into pretty awesome places and getting to meet some cool people. So I'm thinking that I will be able to bring good content. Another thing that also bifurcates out of that is that I'm being, because of the Anarchist Espanol, I'm also getting to do a lot of work throwing this ideology into the Latin American families, because I mean, most of us in the I'm from Mexico, so we already have some sort of we kind of don't like authority, right? But the mentality is a little bit still socialistic. So just helping, I guess, bring the ideas to what's already there from the base is pretty helpful. I'm actually contacting the first anarchist group in Cuba, and that's pretty big. So to be able to do that, I will need a little, help from, I guess, the GoFundMe campaign. So that's one of the things that inspire me to do that.
That's great. Yeah, your campaign's actually going really well, and you're not asking for much. That's got to be a very big relief for you that people are supporting it. It's great. So are you 400 now? Are you almost funded?
Yeah, we have 1,000, and we're missing another 500 that I would hope to get sometime soon, so I can just go full force in this. If there's like really generous people out there like that are willing to throw a little more than the 500, I could probably buy me my own, like I use a little laptop at work, but I mean I could get me my own too, so I would not have to, like, I do a lot of the video editing in my office, so like I could just be completely independent, and that would be pretty awesome. So yes, I mean, there's not a lot left, but if there's more, the better. And that would also allow me to go places, become a little more mobile. And what was pretty surprising is that within, just a few days, people were donating. So, like, at first I was like, well, let's see how this works out. And, that will be kind of the gauge on how to measure how people are receiving the work I'm doing already. And, already up to $1,000, I was pretty surprised. That means that people are really liking what I'm putting out. So I guess that speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, like I said, you should be very relieved and very proud of that really good showing so far. So I have two questions for you, and you touched on these a little bit, but I find both of these areas of what you're doing very fascinating. So obviously you're a consultant sharing volunteerism in the corporate space. As a corporate type for most of my career, I find that fascinating. Can you tell me a little bit more about how well your message has been received in that area of business?
It's so amazing. I mean, at first, it's such a hard sell because the way we name it is either, kind of like conscious capitalism, but we call it servant leadership. So just the idea of being a servant, everybody hates. But in reality, when you're in a market, you're there to serve. And the most successful people are the ones that serve the most. So how do we become from command and control into servant leadership? And that's mainly like the hard sell. But our main program that we sell is a 6-session series. And, by session 3, we've won most of the group over, and they're just, like so excited that they came to the courses. So it helps beyond the 9 to 5. It also helps the skills that we teach are able to help people in their home lives. So, whether they are, active in their church or just family or whatever, those skills that we teach are able to help them in many realms of their life. So we see the person as a whole, and it has great results.
That's great. Yeah, that's wonderful. So your work with the Spanish version of Anarchast is really neat. At Liberty Me, we've been fortunate to benefit from a big influx of international students, both from Spain and from Latin America. That I've gotten the vibe from most of these people that are coming in on a scholarship basis that the principles of liberty, the concept of liberty, a lot of it's helped by Ron Paul spreading into that area, is really, really taking hold in certain areas of Latin America. Why do you think that's true? And if so, why do you think that's the case?
I guess at least from my experience, I don't think it's the Ron Paul idea or his image, but actually more of a little bit of the Mrs. Institute kind of thing, Mrs. Hispano, and that obviously is connected to Ron Paul. But if I talk to my cousins, they may know who Ron Paul is because of me, but not because they, the idea of Ron Paul is bleeding to Mexico. But the your doggy, the idea that Mrs. Hispano is doing really awesome work, and also Jeff Berwick gave me the opportunity to just continue his work from Anarchast but into Spanish, because there's a lot of people waking up, like Venezuela, like they cannot even make toilet paper. And in Mexico, just like, there's a bunch of things that just are dysfunctional, and this ideology is able to put the pieces together, and people are like, okay, yeah, that's right, that makes sense, because I guess we all grow up with the idea of do no harm, but take no shit, or at least that's what my dad always told me growing up. So I guess just touching on that, people are like, okay, yeah, government is like, it doesn't work. And it's funny because like down there, whenever you get pulled over, one time I got pulled over, my dad just came out, and I had given the police officer my license and registration, and my dad just came, snatched it out of the police officer's hands, got in the car, and we left. And that was the first time that I was like, holy moly, like an awakening of like how these thugs don't have anything on you. So something like that, people are already into that. So this is just a little more of the philosophy, the ideology, to help them out with that.
I like that. That's great. Yeah. Take no shit is a Texas phrase too. It's pretty much the culture. It's very, very on point. Well, cool. Well, it looks like you specifically want a camera, a stand, wireless microphone, case. I mean, you've provided some really good detail. Are you actually accepting tangible donations as well?
Yes.
And if so, how can people donate?
I guess I can, like, if they can contact me and I'll give them my address. That's, I mean, I'm not afraid of anything. That's fine. I'm grateful for kind, donations in kind. Or I'm taking Bitcoin, so my address is there. The GoFundMe's there, and if they don't want to necessarily show who they are, just because not everybody wants to put their name there, they have an anonymous choice as well. So anything and everything, it's appreciated.
Well, wonderful. Well, keep fighting the good fight, sir. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, for those interested in helping Luis produce liberty-minded content, you can check out his crowdfunding page below. You can also support his work by liking and sharing this video. Also, we will have his Bitcoin address and a couple of links to his Facebook pages as well. So thank you so much again for your time, and best of luck to you, Luis.
Thank you for having me. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you.